Hello, I am Mrs. Bergbaum and I'm going to talk to you about film studies, looking at the WJC EduCAS specification and why it is the perfect GCSE choice for you to take. So the Film Studies GCSE takes the form of 2 written papers, and each paper is worth 35%, so that will make up 70% of the overall qualification. The very first paper has 3 sections, and for the first paper you will study US film. Section A is a comparative study, and currently on the specification we teach ET and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You will also in section B be required to answer questions about key developments of film. And then for section C, currently we teach Whiplash, and that is a US independent film, and there'll be 1 question on that. For component 2, now we start to look at global film, and we look at it from the perspective of narrative and representation as well, and you would also be tasked to look at film style. So for these 3 sections in this particular paper, they are stepped questions. The first one is about a global English language film. Section B, you will be asked to respond to the questions from the perspective of the non-language film, English language film that you would have been taught. And section C is a contemporary film. So the 3 films that you will be studying for that currently are District 9, you will also look at Tootsie and Skyfall. If you are somebody who is really enthusiastic about the medium of film, then Film Studies is definitely the right option for you. You have the opportunity to gain such a wide amount of knowledge about the most significant developments of film, including the rise of Hollywood, but you also have a real understanding of the global film products that we study as well. This particular subject also gives you a chance to work on your transferable skills such as critical thinking, communication and also creative writing, especially through the different opportunities that you get for the coursework as well. You will also have a real understanding of social concepts, whilst also focusing on key elements of film and interpreting and having an understanding of why particular decisions were made by the director, whether it is the sound decision, the use of the camera, and the use of the location as well. Obviously, the clue is in the title of the subject, but Film Studies is a real deep dive into the production of film, and kind of treat it like English literature, where you look at a book and you rip the book apart. We do the same in Film Studies, but rather than looking at it from a written aspect, it's all about the technical side of things. So the key elements of film form, looking at camera, sound, editing, mise-en-scene, and as I mentioned before, the contexts as well. So if you really like to study a deep dive into particular products, this again would be a great option for you to take. So there is a coursework element that goes alongside Film Studies at GCSE, and it's worth 30% of your overall qualification, and you actually have the choice. You can either film an extract that usually fits a particular genre. Currently the genres include sci-fi, horror, action, teenage and romance, and the extract has to take the form of one of 2 options. It's either any part of the film which would introduce a character, or the opening of that particular film, and you usually have to meet the requirements of the time limits, which is between 2 and 2.5 minutes. If you don't want to produce the film, because that does tend to take quite a lot of skill, planning, pre-production documents, you could also produce a screenplay, and the screenplay that's produced is the same genres that I just explained. Again, it's either the opening of the film or a particular extract that introduces a character, and that has to be between 800 and 1,000 words. We produce that via Celtex. That's an online script writing website and a piece of software that we use, and it's great because it's free and it's digital as well, so you don't have to handwrite any of it. It's all done digitally, and that has to be accompanied by a shooting script, and that shooting script is a key section from your screenplay that you've written, and it's approximately about a minute overall in the screen time. So obviously you would create something that would be of the duration of 2 to 2.5 minutes, but you only need to create the shooting script that's of 1 minute. Alongside that, regardless of whether you choose the film or the screenplay, you also have to produce an evaluative analysis. That is between 750 and 850 words, if we're sort of treating 500 words as 1 page of A4. It's sort of a page and a half in length in total. And we will teach you the different skills that you have to meet the criteria in order to produce the evaluative analysis. We produce the film via software that we have, which is Final Cut. Of course, if you have your own software, you're welcome to use that. And there's no requirement for you to buy camera equipment or cell techs, as I mentioned before, because we get it all for you. So you're very fortunate that everything that you would need is provided by us. In the media and film department, we currently use Blogger, which is an online digital platform for you to complete your classwork and your homework. So as soon as work is completed, it is instantly uploaded, which is great for us to monitor and track your progress. But it also saves you having to handwrite every single lesson. Obviously, there will be times where you do need to handwrite, whether that be worksheets, which are limited because we aim to be a digital department, and exam responses as well. But you are then able to complete work at home, online, using your Blogger account. We do have textbooks so that you can use that to help to support your revision and consolidate knowledge. And there are various different online revision resources, whether that be YouTube videos, Quizlets or Kahoots. So as well as the obvious job roles that you could get into following a film GCSE qualification, such as a director, an editor, a producer, there are a lot of other job roles that you could actually get into if you had particular interests in visual or special effects. You could become a talent agent, you could become a marketing executive or a concept artist. So there really is a real range of different job roles on offer, as well as the big ones that you would see at the very opening credits of a particular film.